Hey folks, Mac T back, and I thought I'd give a real quick thing. Everybody's always asking about fluid change intervals. So we're going to start out with engine oil. Everybody always asks, what oil should I run? Run a synthetic. Okay, if you're very retentive on your oil changes, you can run a conventional, but you have to be very retentive about your oil changes. But run a synthetic, far more forgiving and everything else. What can I say? The cap says recommended, but Ford says based under certain circumstances, yes, the sun is bright right now, you want to change what you run as far as viscosity. 520 is their energy conservation oil. They recommend that. Will the VCT and the TI-VCT, will they run on a heavier weight oil? And the answer is yes. Okay? Depending on your climate, you can do whatever you want. In the winter, a 520 would make for easier starts, and everything else is a good serviceable oil. Now, will it run a 530? The answer is yes. It will run a 530, and I have not seen a degradation of MPGs running a 530. I haven't seen it. And I've run 6,000 miles on this tank, and right now I'm running good mileage. You know, probably a little bit higher than what I was running with the 520. But, you know, that will change as I go. But right now it's doing really good. So I'm running the 530 in it. Now, if you're in the Middle East, you can actually take and run a 1030. Ford says to run a 1030 in it. Why? Because it's really hot there and you need the higher viscosity to help protect the engine. Just keep in mind the higher viscosity helps create a better film between the parts. It's that simple. It's a thicker oil. So it does help with that aspect of it. So you can run a 520, a 530, or a 1030 in your Ford Edge. That simple. You can do it. Now, if you were to say live up north and it's really cold, a 1030 is not a good choice. Keep in mind you want something that flows better when it's really cold. So up north, a 520 is probably your better choice. So if you live up in Canada or Alaska or something like that, Iceland, wherever where it's really cold, a 520 is a better solution. So temperature goes in there. Look at the temperature extremes that they have the oils measured at, and you can adjust to what you want to do for your oils, and then you can have the right oil for whatever your purpose is. And I'm thinking I'm probably, after this testing, I may go up to a 530 and stay here like I am now with Lou, because I'm suffering oil loss at about a quart per 10,000 miles, and I'm going to see if I can't slow that down a bit and then test it in the winter to see how it does. So if you see me starting to show 5W30 oil tests on it, then you know I've taken that step. Higher mileage engine, oil usage, why it's using it. I think it's mostly blow-by that goes through the PCV system and everything else. But I'm seeing if I can't, you know, get that up there to where it goes. But so far everything's good. Now, how many miles? I go by hours, folks. You all know that. Hours. So 200 hours in city driving, all city, that's what you want to do. I'm now testing my wife's car, her Ford Edge, at 250 hours to see what it does, and she's about 240 now. So next weekend or so, I'm going to have to be changing oil and put another oil in hers to run that, and I'll do the results and tell you what that is. But for me right now, I'm running 250 hours all highway. Now, if you say, oh, my car don't do hours, well, then you're going to have to adjust by miles. And all I'm going to tell you is I can do over 10,000 miles in generally 200 to 250 hours. So if you want to go by miles, 10,000 is probably a good choice. Okay, if it's all highway. If you're doing all city, we're probably looking at 3,000 to 5,000 miles, depending on how much idle and everything else you're doing. My wife is a school bus. She stops, runs the engine, idles for hours, and then drives 2 miles. That's severe driving, folks. So follow your severe driving conditions for your oil changes, and you'll be all right on that, and cover that aspect of it. So that is your cold weather and your warm weather climate oil information that you want to know. Transmission fluid, I recommend anywhere from 30 to 50,000 miles maximum. Okay, if you're all city driving, I'd go for the 30. If you're all highway, you can probably bump that thing up to about 45, 50,000 miles, but no more. Highest I've been is about 45 on all my testing right now for it, and I generally shoot for 30, but sometimes things get away from me. But you know, I've been having good luck aiming for 30 and getting it done before 50 for all highway driving. So transmission fluid does the 6F50 and 6F55 transmission do really like fresh transmission fluid, folks. A lot of people in the group are complaining, oh, it ain't shifting right. Change the transmission fluid, folks. It's that simple. Change the fluid. And I do recommend using that LV in there, even though yours might say V. The Mercon LV is compatible, especially the Valvoline Max Life. It's cross-compatible in there, and I've never had a problem with it, and I got excellent test results to prove it, so it will work in the first gen and the 1.5 without issue. So change your transmission fluid as you do there. If you do tow, change it more often. That's right, 30,000 I think if you're towing is what they're saying. PTUs are 10,000 to 20,000 miles depending on your driving habits. Use the appropriate gear lube on there. Gosh, I forgot what it is now. But I do recommend the Redline Lightweight Shockproof to use in your PTU. It runs like the oils you need, but it has a lower viscosity, and it has heavy detergent cleanup, which will keep that oxidation down and give you. So run about 10,000 miles on that, and change it every 10,000 to 15, 20,000, whatever you're doing. And I think you will find that you have a great deal. The RDU fluid, going on to that you don't have to change as much. If you go about 50,000 to 60,000 on that, that's plenty good. The RDU, for whatever reason, is not exposed to as much effort, as much shearing on the gear lube and everything else, and it does use a lighter weight gear lube on top of it. But you can use the lightweight shockproof in the RDU also. That's how versatile the Redline is. You know, I like the Redline. I like everything it is, but you can put in whatever you want, folks. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what my preferences are for it, for what I see. So, you know, do what you want to do on that. If you want to use AMSOIL, Mobil One, Valvoline, you know, Dollar General, I don't know. It's your PTU. It ain't mine. So make your decision on that. But those are a couple of major ones. Power steering, it uses the same Mercon LV fluid, although it is a V fluid rated system. But you cannot go wrong by using the Max Life in that. It's backwards compatible to the V, so you can use the Max Life in that without issue, folks. It won't cause any harm or anything like that. I've been using it for hundreds of thousands of miles without issue. So you can use that, and you only have to have one fluid handy too then. Use the same fluid in your transmission as you do your power steering. It makes life easier. It makes everything go according to plan. Now coolant. Coolant is a big thing. Coolant you want to change out every 30,000 miles or 2 years maximum. Reason you want to do this is you want to keep your water pump happy. The water pump wants to have lubrication inside in that area, and it also wants good oil on the outside for that area. So change your coolant every 30,000 miles or 2 years, and you will be good to go. Keep it at that 50-50 mix mark. I use the Peak Long Life, and have for hundreds of thousands of miles, and not a problem with that either. So those are your fluid changes you're looking at. Use DOT 3 or 4 on your brake fluid, and change your brakes out at least every 2 years as far as the fluid. That means you want to go in and bleed them all the way out, because once it starts turning brown, it's time to start doing it. Don't wait till it's black. Every 2 years, do a full complete bleed on it, and it gives you an opportunity to check your brakes to make sure they're in good shape and they're not wearing out funny or anything like that. And then lube those pins up and all this stuff. But that brake fluid needs to be purged out and completely changed out every 2 years minimum, and you'll be good to go on that aspect. As far as any other fluids, there's really nothing else to talk about. Your power steering, like I said, is there. Your windshield washer, if you don't know what to do with that, I ain't going to help you, okay? And the other thing is, I do have a blinker fluid video that will be coming out. It will explain all the ins and outs of blinker fluid, and I even have lab test results on blinker fluid that I will tell you all what blinker fluid contains. That's all I can tell you right now. But this is, of course, MACT. Make sure you like, subscribe, join MACT on YouTube. That's right. Make sure you hit that donate button. Help me out with these videos and stuff like that. But also make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you know when I put out a new video. Also, MACT Ford Edge on Facebook. That's right. Largest Ford Edge Lincoln MKX group in Facebook. So if you want to be part of that party, join up there. Go to the web or the Facebook group, and then we'll let you all in there and introduce you and everything. As far as the Band of One goes, he's always got great music. He's going to play at the end of this video. Where's the Grill's got a couple one-liners, and my feet hit the floor today, and I'm having a great day, and I want you to have a great day too.
Yes.
Thank you for watching MACT's videos, and remember to like and subscribe.
I can't do this.
You're doing it.
I can't. Oh my gosh.
This is a Mercy Go production.
You had to raise that.